Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, this image that you see here on the right is the so-called royal family. Okay, and it's not the true royal family of England, because the true nobility of England were so-called black people. Okay, these people have infiltrated the royal title, and put it upon themselves. This is definitely after the Renaissance period. Actually, way after the Renaissance period. I would have to say a couple hundred years after. Because you still had remnants of Jake ruling in Europe, even going back to like the 1600s, 1700s. Now, these people are all Edomites that you see on the screen. Okay, and what's going to happen is we're going to gather them up if they're still alive and put them in captivity after Yahweh comes back. Okay, we're going to gather all these people, including the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys. The Rothschilds are over these guys. All right. But we're going to gather all these elites up and put them in captivity, because these Edomites will serve us. These Edomites will bow down to the nation of Israel. Okay. The time of their rulership is at an end. All right. And they know it. They know it in their spirit, and they're trying to stop the prophecies, which is not going to happen. Now, first I want to get Revelations 2, verse 25, and it reads, "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come," meaning the truth. "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron." So this is only dealing with Israelites, because it says he's going to give us power over the nations. What nations? The heathen nations. "As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches." You see? And who are those churches filled up with? Those churches were filled up with Israelites. So the Israelites are going to have power over these other nations, because that was the blessing. That's why he said, "As I received of my Father." That was the blessing that King Solomon got, going back to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. All right. And Yahweh Shai is King Solomon coming back in the reincarnation. Now, this is Psalms 2 in verse 8. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." And the heathen are every other nation that are not Israelites. Those are the nations the Lord do not care about. Okay, the Lord does not care about the heathen. The only nation he cares about are the Israelites. All right. It tells you that the nations are as a drop of a bucket. Okay. This is Psalms 147 in verse 19. It says, "He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh." So these other nations do not know the judgments of the Lord, and he has not dealt with them. All right. The only nation he deals with is Israel, which is known as what? His fervent lover, his only begotten. Okay. All those other nations are counted as nothing to him. You understand? That's why the scripture says what? Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, right? There's no amount of cattle you can sacrifice to the Lord to make the Lord deal with you other nations. He's only dealing with Israel. Okay, we're in the time that the Lord is going to bring vengeance upon you other nations for what has been done to his chosen. Okay, starting with the nation of Edom. And that's what we're getting into. We're getting into the captivity that's going to get ready to befall you and how you're going to have to bow down to the Israelites. Okay, matter of fact, let me jump to Psalms 149. Okay, this is Psalms 149, excuse me, in verse 5. It said, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 4. It says, "For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people, which are the Israelites. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron." You see, so we're going to bind, like I said, these people that you see on the screen, they're going to be bound with chains and fetters of iron. Okay? To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. You see, the scriptures say that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, right now, we as Israelites are last, but we are going to be first. Right? Right now, who's first? The Edomites. And amongst the Edomites, Amalek, right? And Amalek, which these people are Amalek. These are Amalekites. All the top people on the earth right now are Amalek. They go back to Amalek. All right? I'm speaking about you know what I'm talking about, the small hat community. They go back to Amalek. Okay? There's certain Edomites in high positions that are not Amalek, but the mass majority of them are Amalek. Amalek has hoarded the blessing that the Edomites got for this short period of time to himself. All right. And even in the kingdom, the other Edomites are going to hate the Amalekites, man. So Amalek is going to be on the bottom of the bottom. You see that? Matter of fact, let me get Numbers, the 24th chapter. And I'll read down. I'll start at verse 24. Start at verse 17. It says, "I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob," and that star is Yahushua, "and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly." Meaning what? We're going to take over the land of Edom. Out of Jacob shall come, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, Yahushua, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, right, which is the head family of the Edomites, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations. See, they own everything: the media, the diamond district, all industries, the oil industry, right, the food industry. These are all owned by the Amalekites. So they're the first of all the nations at this particular time. And what are they doing on the earth? They're doing nothing but wickedness and evil and oppression. You see that? Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Right? Because what does it say in Obadiah 1 and 18? Let's get Obadiah 1 and verse 18. You see? Listen, everything has to be precept upon precept. This is Obadiah 1 and 18. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it." You see that? So the Lord is going to do away completely with the Edomites in the kingdom. After they serve their punishment, they're going to be done away with. meaning they're going to be exterminated. And they of the south, which is who's in the south of Israel, Judah, shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria and Benjamin, and shall possess Gilead. All right. You see that? So we're going to possess all of that, because Esau is not going to be anymore. So why would he need a land if he's not going to be there anymore? You see what I'm saying? Excuse me. And let's get Psalms, the 18th chapter. In the 44th verse, it says, matter of fact, I'll start at the 43rd verse. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. You see that? That's what they're going to do. They're going to submit themselves unto the Heavenly Father's anointed. Okay, so this Bible is not all inclusive. This is only dealing with the nation of Israel. This is the only nation that the Lord cares about. Okay, let's get Isaiah 49 in verse. Hold up, Isaiah 49 in verse 23. It says, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their faces toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. You see, so they're going to actually bow down. So you see, we have that picture, that sign with the Jake, the Israelite with the scepter, and the heathen round about bowing down. That's going to be a reality in the kingdom. You know, as soon as we come down from those ships, man, they're going to start to get in order. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. You see, so we're not going to be ashamed, man. All right. We're not going to be ashamed, because we're waiting for the Lord to give us that power, you know, to bring his vengeance and to, you know, execute his power, and then to give us power. Excuse me. This is, matter of fact, let me go up a bit. This is Isaiah 60 and verse 8. It says, Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them. You see, they're gonna they're gonna be taking care of our children. They're gonna be carrying our children on their shoulders, all these different things. And what does it say? They're gonna bring their silver and their gold with them. You see how Gardner found $12 trillion worth of gold, and come to find out, there's a Chinese company that took the majority of that, all right, and left them with like 700 million. So them people are cursed over there too, man. You see that? Supposedly that's what it was, that they only got left with $700 million out of that $12 trillion worth of gold. That's crazy. All right. Leads me to believe, if that's the case, leads me to believe there's a lot of Israelites over there, because that's a curse indeed. You understand what I'm saying to you? But it says, unto the name of Yahweh thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. And like I was trying to say, that gold is going to be transferred unto us anyway, as Israelites. You see all that gold they're finding? That's just for us. You see what I'm saying to you? They're going to be bringing gold, silver, brass, precious metals, oils, different incense. They're going to be bringing that to us in abundance for free. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and they're going to build up our walls. They're going to build up the kingdom of heaven. and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy upon thee. All right. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. You see what I'm saying to you? So they're going to have to serve us. And if they don't, we're going to have the power to call Satan upon them, man, to bring, to stop the rain, to bring thunderstorms, to open up the earth. We're going to have that power, man. You see, the scriptures say that the house of David shall be as the Most High. You see what I'm saying? So the house of David is going to have the power like similar to the Most High. Why? Because the Most High is going to be amongst us. He's going to dwell with us. My goodness. I don't think you understand, man. I don't think you get it, man. This is Isaiah 49 and verse 7. It says, thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, do not they despise us? To him whom the nations abhorreth, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise. Right? Like when you go to the court, right? And you have to rise for the judge. You can't just sit down. The judge is leaving. You have to rise. When the judge comes in, you have to rise again, right? To show that respect to these wicked judges in this society. But guess what? In our kingdom, they're going to rise for us. You see? And they're going to bow. All right? You see? It says what? Kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship, because of the Lord that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose thee. You see, because you can't go to the court and just sit down. If you sit down, I'm not sure, but I believe you might be held in contempt, or something like that. You're not allowed to just sit down while the judge is coming in, man. I'm not sure what the penalty is for that, but that's not a good thing. The security guard always say, "Oh, rise," and you have to rise up. You have to show these wicked judges of this earth respect. How much more the Israelites that the Lord is going to bestow power upon in that day? How more are you going to have to show us respect? They're not just going to see, oh, that's an Israelite over there, and continue doing what they're doing. No, they're going to stop what they're doing and show reverence, man. Okay? So with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.